everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today guys, we're going to talk about a few tips, tricks that you should be using to get healthier natural hair. I always tell you guys that I want healthy hair. I would love to see super long hair, but I'm working on keeping my hair healthy instead of just having long unhealthy hair, bad ends. So we're going to talk about a few of those today. So let's get started guys. The first thing I want you guys to do is make sure that you do your hair on a schedule. And I don't mean you have to have a exact schedule where nothing can get in the way that you have to do your hair. I want you to make sure that you actually plan on doing your hair when you need to do it. This means having a regimen for your hair, having a wash day. So make sure you have some type of routine or regimen you have for your hair to get it done. The second tip guys goes with that is basically to wash your hair when it's needed. I told you guys a few weeks ago that I work out a lot more now. I make sure I work out. Sometimes I'll work out for an hour or two. So that means that's a lot of sweating, a lot of product buildup, a lot of dirt on my hair basically, especially if I go running. So I need to make sure to wash my hair. I can't wait for wash day. So I make sure that I wash my hair. I will do a lighter wash day. If you guys haven't seen it already, I do have a wash day on my channel that is just for when I work out. So I don't have to do a complete wash day. This is my simple one. Go check that out. That's what I do. So next, again, tip goes along with that again. And that is to make sure guys, when you're deep conditioning your hair, to get that deep conditioner to penetrate your strands. And one of the best ways to do that is using indirect heat. Now, we don't all have a heat cap or a steamer. I do have both of them. You guys have seen them on my channel. I use each of them based on time or what wash day I'm doing. But a simple trick to that is do what I used to do. Before I had those, I would buy a regular plastic cap or a plastic bag, guys. Just put those on. Your scalp will heat up. You will feel the difference having that plastic bag or cap on versus just leaving your hair out for the moisture to escape while it's trying to penetrate your hair strand. A tip for your ends, guys. I learned this from my sister actually, is when you have your hair in braids or twists, that's your little protective style for the week after you wash your hair. Take a little hair tie and tie those ends and tie them loosely. Don't tie them crazy tight or anything like that. You're just making sure that instead of just tucking your ends in like I used to do sometimes, they would unravel and escape and get out, especially if they're extra moisturized, extra soft, they would come out. So that means my ends were out, the moisture was escaping. Tying them in and then tucking them in actually keep them in, keep them protected, and they stay moisturized, guys. I love it. So really cool simple tips to use if you are using twists and braids to keep your hair in a little simple protective style. Another tips I've found extremely useful guys is keep your hair on non-tangle stretch style. And what I mean by that guys is whenever you're doing your hair, try to do something that will keep your hair stretched, especially if you have 4C hair like I do. Keep it in a stretch style with twists or braids so your hair don't have the opportunity to tangle around each other and start creating tangles, and now you have unnecessary breakage and shedding going on in your hair. So this tip guys is very simple. I've seen a lot of people do it. It works wonders, believe you me. I used to use this in two parts, but now I have them together as one. Is what I will do guys, I will finger detangle my hair, and then when I feel there's almost no tangle in it, I will go in with my wide tooth comb and detangle my hair and make sure it's completely detangled, because now I don't want any tangle to sit on it. It is longer than it used to be, so I noticed that I do have to make sure that I detangle my hair so I don't have to deal with any more tangles, because it's a lot worse when I do get those tangles and it breaks my hair so bad guys. So using that two-step detangling process will help as well. Another trick with that detangling guys is make sure to have slip in your hair. It is so important. Again, if you have hair that tangles a lot, I've seen people with straight hair and curly hair that tangles so much, so it just depends on if your hair tangles or not. Having slip will make sure that the comb or your finger glides through those tangles, they fall apart, they don't wrap around each other, and you don't get that unnecessary breakage and shedding in your hair guys. This is a product tip guys. Something I realized is that you should prep your DIYs either the day ahead or the week ahead if it can stay that long, because now you're going to spend more time carefully prepping your products. You will pay attention to what's in it, and you will have it to do your hair once wash day come or your treatment time come, because now you're more at ease. You don't have to do 100 things that same day. You'll remember more to do. You won't miss missing ingredients or miss a step. This helps you keep a healthier routine, which help you keep a healthier hair. Another treatment tips is make sure that you understand what each ingredient is doing for your hair before you actually put it in a product, because I've noticed that some of the treatments I've gotten online from people is that they'll work great for their hair adding one thing, and I'll try it that way, but I've noticed that I need to make sure I know that, hey, if I'm doing my henna treatment, I noticed somebody added honey to add moisture. How is my hair going to do with honey in that henna? So make sure you are fixing the ingredients when you're making your treatment to your hair needs, not just because somebody said it worked for their hair. You need to make sure you understand what do and doesn't work for your hair, especially when you're mixing it. It's kind of working your way and being a chemist, I know, but you do have to understand what those ingredients are doing to your hair and scalp, especially if you're putting those treatment like my henna treatment. You guys see I put it on my scalp and hair, so make sure you understand what's going on before you dive in and just mix that treatment and throw it in your hair. DIY tip, guys, is when you're making your DIYs is always customize them, not only for the weather but also according to what your hair is doing, because I noticed that if you've seen on my channel, I've changed my DIYs a couple of times because of what my hair was doing or how the weather was changing. And make sure when you're doing your DIYs, you do a lot smaller portion of them as well now, because I've learned that even though you do a DIY, it may work for 3 months, but then it stops working on your hair, or the weather changed on you crazy, like fun Florida here, and the weather will change so crazy on you sometimes. So make sure you not only do a smaller batch, but put that batch aside and make a new one when you need to use it. Usually I try to keep my batches from 16 ounce to 4 ounces, guys, depending on what I'm making. So make sure you're making batches that are small enough for you to use. I want to say at the most 3 months if you're making something that's going to last long, but usually I try to keep my product at the most to a minimum a month so they don't last any longer, just in case something happened, I don't lose ingredients or my hair health doesn't suffer, guys. A simple tip, guys, is when you're washing your hair is start washing your hair with warm water to make sure that your cuticles are opening up. You're rinsing all that wet product and everything out as much as possible, and the last rinse you do is a cold rinse. But remember, guys, cold rinse, it will close up your hair's cuticles, so make sure if you have low, high, or medium porosity, you're working with the water temperature that works for your hair. Guys, I know you noticed I have my protective style on. A tip for protective style is if your hair is suffering, I definitely suggest you pay attention when you put your protective style on, because protective styles are great, but they're not going to be great if they're not protecting and keeping your hair healthy. So if something happens, take that protective style out and treat your scalp. If you guys have any more tips, tricks that you use to keep healthier, stronger hair, please comment down below and let us know. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click that little notification bell so you'll know when we have new videos out. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave all of your comments, of course, down below, and go over and watch my last video.